Welcome to the House of Wisdom. Here, you can enjoy the essence of great books and learn valuable lessons without spending hours reading. Whether you're driving, training, or multitasking, the House of Wisdom brings engaging audiobook summaries right to you. Sit back, relax, and let us share the wisdom of books in a way that fits perfectly into your busy lifestyle. We've got you covered. Today's captivating summary is about the psychology of money. Timeless Lessons on Wealth, Greed, and Happiness by Morgan Housel. This book delves into the psychology behind money and offers timeless insights on managing wealth and understanding financial behavior. By the end of this summary, you'll walk away with valuable lessons that can transform the way you think about money. Morgan Housel, an investor, author, and partner at the Collaborative Fund, an investment firm backing innovative entrepreneurs, has also written extensively for the Wall Street Journal and authored multiple books. Now, let's dive into the key takeaways from the psychology of money. Would you choose a luxurious mansion or $3 billion in financial freedom? Would you prioritize wealth or a stellar reputation? Do you feel like you've earned enough in life? And how does someone amass a fortune of $84.5 billion? If these questions have ever crossed your mind, then this book is for you. It not only explores how to build wealth but also reveals the deeper impact money has on our lives. Chapter 1. The Greatest Show on Earth. When author Morgan Housel was in college, he worked as a valet at a high-end hotel in Los Angeles. During his time there, he often encountered a young, sharp-minded technology executive. By the age of 20, this guest had already patented a crucial component for Wi-Fi routers. He had founded and sold multiple tech companies, amassing a significant fortune. Despite his financial success, his money management skills were lacking. He was known for carrying large bundles of cash and flaunting his wealth to anyone who would listen. Often intoxicated, he would boast about his fortune. One day, he asked a parking attendant to exchange some money for gold coins at a nearby shop. When the attendant returned with several $1,000 gold coins, the young millionaire did something shocking. He threw them into the ocean like skipping stones, encouraging his friends to do the same. A few days later, after accidentally breaking a $500 lamp in the hotel, he caused a scene. In a fit of arrogance, he threw $5,000 in cash at the manager's face and shouted, "Take this. I never want to see you again." You may wonder if this story is real. It absolutely is. And there are many more like it in this book. Ultimately, this young millionaire squandered his fortune within a few years, went bankrupt, and was abandoned by his so-called friends. This story proves a crucial point. Money can buy many things, but it cannot buy good character. The story of Ronald Reed. In contrast, consider Ronald Reed, a janitor born and raised in a small village. He was the first in his family to finish high school, hitching rides every day to attend classes. Ronald led a simple life, spending 25 years fixing cars at a gas station and another 20 years cleaning floors at JCPenney. At 38, he bought a modest two-bedroom house for $112,000 and lived there for the rest of his life. He was married but had no children. After his wife passed away when he was 50, he found solace in his favorite hobby, chopping wood. Ronald's name made headlines in 2014. Not because of his job, but because of what he left behind. At the time of his death at 92, he had quietly accumulated a fortune of $8 million. He left $2 million to his stepchildren and donated $6 million to a local hospital and library. If you search for Ronald Reed on Wikipedia, you'll find him described as a janitor, gas station attendant, investor, philanthropist, and millionaire. How did he achieve this? There was no magic trick. He didn't win the lottery, inherit wealth, or start a successful business. Instead, he followed a simple strategy: investing consistently in blue-chip stocks, saving diligently, and allowing his money to grow through the power of compounding. A tale of two millionaires. Now, let's contrast Ronald Reed with Richard Fuscone, a former executive at Merrill Lynch. Richard had a highly successful career, making it onto a 40 under 40 list of top business leaders. By 40, he had retired with immense wealth. He owned an 18,000 square foot mansion in Connecticut, featuring 2 swimming pools, 2 elevators, 7 garages, and 11 bathrooms. However, maintaining such a lavish lifestyle came at a cost, $90,000 per month in upkeep. Then came the 2008 financial crisis, and overnight, Richard found himself bankrupt. From these 2 stories, Ronald Read, the humble janitor, and Richard Fuscone, the high-flying executive, we learn a vital lesson. Financial success is not about intelligence or status. It's about behavior. Finance is a unique field where mindset matters more than knowledge. Understanding the psychology of money is crucial. Anyone, regardless of background, can build wealth. However, becoming rich is one thing, staying humble is another. Chapter 2. Never Enough. John C. Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, once shared an insightful story that took place at a billionaire's party. In one corner, Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller were deep in conversation, discussing their wealthy host, a hedge fund manager who earned more in a single day than Heller's novel Catch-22 had made in total sales. Vonnegut pointed this out, to which Heller responded with a brilliant remark. Yes, but I have something he will never have. Enough. Now, ask yourself, what is your source of income? Can you confidently say that you have enough? Let's explore this concept further with 2 striking stories. The rise and fall of Rajat Gupta. Rajat Gupta's journey is one of remarkable success and devastating downfall. Born into the slums of Kolkata, he was an orphan who defied the odds, becoming the CEO of McKinsey & Company, one of the world's top consulting firms, by the age of 45. After retiring in 2007, he took on prestigious roles at the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, and the boards of 5 major corporations. By 2008, his net worth had soared to $100 million. But despite his vast wealth, Gupta wasn't satisfied. He longed to join the exclusive billionaires club, pushing himself further by joining the board of Goldman Sachs. During the 2008 financial crisis, Warren Buffett decided to invest $5 billion in Goldman Sachs. As a board member, Gupta learned of this investment before it became public. Just 16 seconds after a board meeting, he called hedge fund manager Raj Rajaratnam, who immediately bought 175,000 shares of Goldman. Hours later, Buffett's investment was announced, Goldman's stock price surged, and Rajaratnam made a $1 million profit within hours. Gupta, in total, profited $17 million. But greed led to his downfall. This was a textbook case of insider trading. Gupta lost everything, his fortune, his reputation, and his freedom, when he was convicted and sent to prison. Why did he risk everything for another billion when he already had $100 million? He had wealth, power, and prestige, yet his inability to recognize what was enough led to his ruin. Key lessons from this story. 1. The hardest financial skill. Knowing when to stop. One of the greatest financial challenges isn't making money. It's resisting the urge to always chase more. The drive for more power, fame, and wealth often outweighs satisfaction. In modern capitalism, success is measured by endless accumulation, making it difficult to know when to step back. 2. The danger of social comparison. Consider an athlete earning $500,000 per year. To most, he seems rich. But compared to Mike Trout, who signed a $430 million contract over 12 years, he appears far less successful. A hedge fund manager making $36 million annually might seem extremely wealthy, until he compares himself to the top 10 hedge fund managers earning $340 million per year. Even they may feel insignificant next to the top 5, who make $770 million annually. And what about Warren Buffett? In 2018, his fortune grew by $3.5 billion. Yet even he pales in comparison to Jeff Bezos, whose wealth increased by $24 billion in the same year. The ladder of wealth is endless. The only way to win? Stop competing. Recognize when you have enough and stop measuring success against others. 3. Some things are more valuable than money. No matter how much money, fame, or power you accumulate, certain things remain priceless: your reputation, freedom, family, and happiness. After his release from prison, Rajat Gupta told the New York Times that one should not become too attached to reputation or success because, in the end, they don't matter. But he was wrong. Reputation matters. Freedom matters. The love of family and friends matters. The only way to safeguard these treasures is to know your limits, understand risk, and recognize when you truly have enough. Chapter 3. Confounding compounding. Lessons from one field often find relevance in another. Have you ever wondered why the ice ages happened? Interestingly, the mechanism behind these massive climate shifts mirrors how compounding works in investments, gradually building over time until a tipping point is reached. By the 19th century, scientists agreed that Earth had undergone multiple ice ages, 5, to be precise. But what could cause the planet to freeze over, melt, and then freeze again? Various theories attempt to explain these cycles. Some suggest that tectonic activity in mountain ranges triggered climatic shifts, while others argue that ice ages are Earth's natural state, periodically disrupted by volcanic eruptions. However, these explanations account for only one ice age, not all 5. In the early 1900s, Serbian scientist Milutin Milankovic studied Earth's position in the solar system and concluded that the gravitational forces of the Sun and Moon influenced Earth's axial tilt. He observed that, at times, Earth tilts more than usual, receiving an uneven distribution of solar radiation. This change in the hemisphere's exposure led to long-term cooling, covering the planet with thick ice layers. Russian meteorologist Vladimir Koppen expanded on this theory, suggesting that an abnormal tilt resulted in colder summers, too cold to fully melt the accumulated ice. Over time, as ice continued to build up each year, Earth became entirely engulfed in an ice age. A similar principle applies to compounding in finance. Imagine you start saving 10% of your salary annually in an index fund with a 10% annual return. In the first year, you earn interest on your savings. In the second year, you earn interest on both your savings and the previously earned interest. This cycle continues, steadily increasing your wealth. If you maintain this strategy without withdrawing funds for decades, you could accumulate millions. Take Warren Buffett, for example. He started investing at the age of 10 and never withdrew the interest earned, allowing it to compound. By the time he was 89, his net worth had reached $84.5 billion, a result of disciplined investing over 8 decades. In fact, most of his wealth was amassed after his 50th birthday, illustrating the sheer power of long-term compounding. To put compounding into perspective, consider basic math. Adding 8 to itself 9 times results in 72. But multiplying 8 by itself 9 times yields 134,135. That's the magic of compounding. It isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about time and patience. Many books analyze Buffett's financial success, often emphasizing his staggering fortune. However, if one book truly captured the essence of compounding, it might simply be titled, "Shut Up and Wait." Chapter 4. Getting Wealthy versus Staying Wealthy. There are countless ways to become rich, but only one way to stay rich. Let's explore this lesson through the stories of 2 investors. Jesse Livermore was one of the greatest stock traders of his time. Born in 1877, before the world even fully grasped the concept of stock trading, he had already made a name for himself. By the time he turned 30, Jesse had amassed $100 million. Then came the stock market crash of 1929, a catastrophe that triggered the Great Depression. The news was flooded with reports of Wall Street traders taking their own lives in despair. On October 29, 1929, Jesse's family anxiously awaited his return home. His wife and 2 children stood by the door, while his mother-in-law sat inside, weeping. When Jesse finally arrived, he was in shock, but not because he had lost everything. In fact, he had done the exact opposite. He had bet against the market, correctly predicting the crash, and overnight, he became a billionaire. While others had been convinced that stock prices would keep rising, Jesse foresaw their collapse and profited immensely, earning $3 billion in a single day. In contrast, Abraham Germansky's fate took a different turn. A wealthy real estate developer, Abraham had built his fortune during the 1920s and, like many others, believed the stock market would keep soaring. But when the market crashed, his fortune disappeared overnight. A few days later, overwhelmed by his losses, Abraham took his own life. Jesse, however, was riding high after his massive win in 1929. He became overconfident, believing he was unstoppable. He continued making large bets, convinced he would always come out ahead. But by 1933, he had lost everything in the market. Devastated, Jesse, too, vanished, ending his life, just as Abraham had. Both men had mastered the art of making money, yet neither could hold on to it. Earning wealth requires boldness, risk-taking, and optimism. But keeping wealth demands humility, restraint, and the awareness that fortunes can change in an instant. Life is unpredictable. You can be at the top today and at the bottom tomorrow. The key to preserving wealth is using money wisely and acknowledging that luck plays as much of a role as skill. Success is never permanent, and past victories don't guarantee future prosperity. Now, let's look at Warren Buffett, someone who not only built wealth but maintained it for over 70 years. He invested for decades, allowing his money to compound. By the time he reached 89, his fortune had grown to $84.5 billion. Buffett's success wasn't just about knowing which stocks to buy or which companies to invest in, it was about discipline. He never succumbed to greed or panic. He weathered 14 recessions without selling in fear, never gambled his reputation, and never chased fleeting trends. He understood the importance of adaptability, patience, and long-term thinking. Unlike Jesse and Abraham, Buffett never retired or cashed out. Even after turning 65, he continued investing and compounding his wealth, ensuring his financial empire endured. That's how he didn't just survive, he thrived. Conclusion. Throughout this exploration of the psychology of money, we've uncovered powerful stories that highlight the intricate relationship between wealth and human behavior. We began with the tale of a young tech prodigy who recklessly tossed $1,000 gold coins into the sea, a striking reminder of how easily wealth can slip away when squandered on fleeting impulses. Then, we met Ronald Read, a humble janitor whose frugal lifestyle masked an astonishing $8 million fortune, quietly amassed through patient and disciplined investing, a testament to the power of long-term financial wisdom. The story of Richard Fone, a Harvard MBA whose fortune unraveled in the 2008 financial crisis, served as a stark warning about the fragility of wealth tied too closely to market swings. Meanwhile, Rajat Gupta's downfall illustrated the insatiable nature of greed. Despite already possessing $100 million, his relentless pursuit of $1 billion ultimately led to his ruin. We also revisited Jesse Livermore and Abraham Germansky, two men who experienced meteoric financial success, only to lose it all during the 1929 stock market crash. Their tragic endings underscore the devastating consequences of financial overconfidence and misjudgment. And then there's Warren Buffett, the embodiment of patience, discipline, and the art of compounding. His unwavering approach to investing, his ability to withstand market fluctuations without panic, and his long-term vision have not only preserved his fortune but exponentially expanded it over decades. So, which of these figures resonates most with you? Whose story reflects the financial values you aspire to uphold? As we wrap up this journey, remember that true wealth isn't just about accumulating riches. It's about embracing the principles that sustain and protect it. Reputation, freedom, family, love, and happiness are the true treasures of life, ones that money can support but never replace. Life is a cycle of ups and downs, and understanding this allows us to navigate our financial paths with humility and foresight. Be wise, cherish your loved ones, and recognize that the greatest wealth is a life well lived, enriched by meaningful relationships and purpose. Thank you for joining us in this summary of the psychology of money. We hope it has deepened your understanding of how wealth shapes human decisions and behaviors. If these insights resonated with you, consider liking, commenting, and sharing this summary to spread these valuable lessons. And don't forget to subscribe to The House of Wisdom for more book summaries on personal finance, self-improvement, and beyond. Explore our channel for more insightful content that can help you on your journey to financial and personal growth.